easy to get bogged down by the nose of social media when it comes to your kids. Sure, restricting and monitoring, we know those are necessary steps, but my next guest says it's important to teach and trust, to offer those social media training wheels, if you will. Deseret News columnist Amy Iverson is joining me. Great to have you as always.
Hi.
I know it is a little unnerving for parents, the idea of just setting your kid loose when they hit that magic age of, what, 13 for Facebook, right? So this is baby steps? These are baby steps?
Yeah, I was just thinking about it. I was kind of feeling like a downer, like I kept saying all these no's, and it's just like anything else, preparing your kid for the real world is you have to teach them a little bit at a time, right? Like for driving, you don't just go, there you go, you're 16, here's the keys. So we have to do the same thing with social media.
You've got some websites for us, some tools. The first one, Club Penguin. Why do you like this?
And maybe you're already using this with your kids. I mean, this is recommended down to age 5.
Oh.
A great kind of way to introduce your kids to a social media site where they play games, they earn virtual money, and their friends are penguins too. Nobody knows real names. They make sure there's no bad words or personal information shared, but you get to invite them over to your igloo. You get to accessorize your penguin, and they have an app, and it's online.
So you're working through those social identities, but you're a penguin, you don't know who the other penguins are, but it opens your idea up to those social relationships?
Yeah, to have that networking and to start teaching them. And we don't give personal information, and this is why, even though Disney started this, they're going to stop that anyway. But just a good time to start with the 5-year-old saying, and we don't tell people where we go to school and things like that, so when they do get broadened, they don't put out information they shouldn't.
Got it. Next website, Your Sphere. It's for children who are a little bit older. What age?
Yeah, 8 to 9. This was developed by a mom who was worried because her kids wanted to get on Facebook at a younger age. They check every parent's ID to make sure that no one is putting a fake account on there for a child and they're really an adult wanting to do bad things. So they check IDs. No one over 18 is allowed. So this gives them a little more freedom to get out there. Parents may need to play around on this a bit. I saw some good and some bad reviews by parents, but any of these and any app or website you're going to let your kid play on, you play on it first to make sure you feel good with it.
Do your homework ahead of time. Kids World is the next step in the social media ladder, and this one is a kind of a more comprehensive experience.
Yeah, so for those tweens, you're going to see celebrity articles and sports articles, and they have chat rooms, they have message boards. The difference with this one is there is a actual human monitor who is always watching the chat rooms. They're only open a certain hours of the day. There's a real life person watching that at all times, making sure there's nothing on there that shouldn't be. They kind of flag it. I saw one parent saying, oh, these are just kids who are lonely. They were talking about self-harm. I went on there, I went through so many posts. I saw kids talking about crushes. I saw kids complaining about their little brothers. I saw kids complaining about homework. I didn't see anything harmful. Again, parents will have to check on that, but it looked like a fun way to introduce your kids to a Facebook type social media before they're ready for Facebook.
This might be a dumb question. Do these sites have a cool vibe? Like, are kids going to want to play on these sites, or are they going to roll their eyes and think, oh, Mom, I just want to be on Facebook?
Well, once they're 10 to 12, it's going to be a little more difficult. And I think the key would be to get your friends going. Maybe you as mom friends talk and say, let's let our kids get on this one and let them use this for a while. I did see kids on there saying, I haven't been here for a while. Is anyone still here? You know, so it looks like something people kind of check in and out of.
Sure.
But if you could get a group of friends together to get on there to use that as their social media, why not?
And then no one's left out, right? When so-and-so's on Facebook and you're on Penguin World or whatever.
Exactly.
For the 5-year-olds, I'm sorry.
Yes.
That was a vast extreme. I love this final idea to set up a social media contract with your kids. What would this look like, do you think?
Well, I think just like anything else you're going to let your kids use, you have to make your expectations very clear. So I put one in my column, a link to iMom. Common Sense Media, one of my favorites, has one. And these are just things like time limits, things you're allowed to do. I get to know your passwords, these contracts, so that it's clear and set in writing, so that if they break those rules, then they don't get to use it anymore. But if they can follow those, then they might be ready for the next step.
I like that idea, laying the groundwork ahead of time. Parenting experts say
start
that's the
young.
key.
Don't wait till it's, and it's never too late, but it's much easier if you start when they're little than when they're already 17 and you're going, no, you can't do that.
If only my 1-year-old could sign a contract now. I will always trust my mom and give her my password. You're diving into this topic in depth in your column this week.
That's right. So a little more of the do's than don'ts this week at deseretnews.com/Amy.
Thank you so much, Amy. We appreciate it.